So, lads, about 8 hours ago, this got tweeted. I'm not gonna lie, this was 8 hours ago. I had plenty of other things to do today, and I didn't want to talk about this. And the fact is that, I've got even another video. I've got even another kind of ranty video out today, and I don't like doing this. I want to talk basketball, and I will be absolutely watching the Unrivaled final game. Or the Unrivaled playoffs. I'll be watching the Rose versus the Breeze. My prediction, the Rose destroy them. Like, absolute massacre level destroying. That would be my prediction, because I personally believe that the Rose are 100 times better than them. Like, Angel Reese is a big upgrade for the Rose. She is. And honestly, it's the Breeze have been absolutely effing terrible. And if you guys are new to the channel, please, lads, subscribe. We are trying to stop the rot. We're trying to stop the rot, lads. We're trying to get back up. We're trying to honestly just stay above 57k at this stage. I know once basketball season starts, once we get talking about basketball again, we're going to be fine. We'll get back up. And we'll get to 70, 80k. I'm confident of that coming into the 2027 season. I'm confident of that. But at the end of the day, it's one of those things where we got to talk about this Unrivaled team right now. And Paige Bueckers, 22, 6, and 5. Okay. Versus 19, 10. And by the way, it was like 19.5, 10.2, and 2.3 blocks per game or something. And then she sat out at a final game. She sat out, like she barely played in the last game. And in fairness, Paige's points did in fact go down when she scored 2 points yesterday. She scored 2 points. It was a dead rubber game. It did not matter for her team. It was a dead rubber. I mean this when I say this. Like, if you look at the replies here to this, obviously second team for AB. Why is Stewie first team over AB? Plum, Chelsea, Steward got to be first team. Like, even the Paige fans, by the way, Paige fans were pissed. Paige fans were like, damn, Paige couldn't even make the second team. Like, when the second team got announced, I literally tweeted and I was like, I tweeted out and I was like, they really picked two players on teams that are 6 and 8 over Aaliyah Boston. And people actually were like, no, not a chance. It's going to be Breanna Stewart. Paige didn't make an all-unrivaled team. She literally made the first team on a 6 and 8 team. And by the way, I don't think Chelsea Gray should have either. I think Chelsea Gray should have been... The second team should be the first team. If you want to put Kelsey Plum on the first team and you want to say you can only have one phantom player, okay. I'm actually okay with that. If the first team had Breanna Stewart on it, or if the first team was Sykes, Alicia Gray, and Kelsey Plum, and the second team was Paige, Aaliyah Boston, Chelsea Gray, I'd be less annoyed than that, by the way. The second team should have been the first team. Like, this is a piss take. Makes a mockery of voting. Like, how do you get two so wrong? I don't care that Chelsea Gray had big moments. And by the way, if winning doesn't matter, where's Marina Mabrey? If winning doesn't matter, which is basically what they've shown right now, winning doesn't matter. They have very much said, come to that conclusion. Winning, when it comes to Unrivaled, winning does not matter. We have to be very clear here. Winning does not matter. So if winning doesn't matter, where is Marina Mabrey? I actually saw somebody that put Marina Mabrey and Leah Edwards on their second team and didn't have Sykes on either of their teams. And I'm like, you have two players on a team that are dead last. Dead last. You have two players. But at the end of the day, if winning doesn't matter, Marina Mabrey had a better Unrivaled season than Chelsea Gray and Kelsey Plum and Paige Bueckers as individuals. Like, it is one of those things where, as individuals, if you want to just go purely on the stats, if you want to go on the moments, Marina Mabrey had her 50-point game in what you call it. Marina Mabrey had her 50-point game, and it was what it was. It was what it was. Like, Marina Mabrey had her 50-point game, which is a big moment. Paige didn't have anything. Paige's team sucked. They lost what did they lose? I mean this when I say this. This is how Paige's team ended unrivaled, by the way. This is how Paige's team ended unrivaled. They were pathetic. They started off okay, but I'm going to show you guys. They were pathetic. They ended when it mattered, coming down the stretch. They were pathetic. Let's take a look. And by the way, this is not all Paige's fault. We're not out here pretending like this is Paige's fault. It was not all Paige's fault. We can be very clear on this. But the Breeze lose by 12, lose by 25, and give up a record 95 points. Beat the Vinyl, who are fucking garbage. In fairness, they did beat the Vinyl. Lose to the Lunar Owls. The Lunar Owls. I repeat, they lost to the Lunar Owls. The last place Lunar Owls. Lost to the Hive, who are second last. Killed the Rose, who are Chelsea Gray's team. And lost to the Phantom. They started off okay and lost to the Laces. They won, 2 of their last 8 games? Or 2 of their last 8 or 9 games? They started off well, and they couldn't win. And you're looking at these two players, this is a robbery. And people are like, oh yeah, look, Paige made first team. She makes first team and everything. It is fucking rigged. They wanted to scream point guard and put Paige Bueckers on it. There is no excuse. There is no excuse for Chelsea Gray to be on this team. And Paige Bueckers. Yes, good stats, bad team, get them on second team. And by the way, we were like, oh, Caitlin Clark made all W first team. First of all, the best player on every team better than Caitlin Clark, other than the Seattle Storm, who were imploding, made that team. Caitlin Clark did not make... And by the way, the Seattle Storm had Gabby Williams, Jewel Lloyd at the time, Neko Wumake, and Skylar Diggins. And they were they imploded post All-Star break. Not one of them individually had a better season than Caitlin Clark. And there's no question about that. But at the end of the day, when it came down to it, Caitlin Clark made that All-W first team because she was... And especially because it's normally about how you end the season. The Rose and the Breeze literally were the 2 worst teams over the last 10. It is a 14-game season. Over the last 10, which is 2/3 of the season, they were the 2 worst teams. And 2 of them made it. Chelsea Gray, fair enough, look at her points. Paige Bueckers on 22 points. Everyone's like, oh, look at her efficiency. I don't give a shit about 3-on-3 efficiency. I actually don't give a shit about 3-on-3 efficiency. I don't give a shit about 3-on-3 efficiency. Why are we talking about efficiency in 3-on-3? These are the most brain-dead people ever. Aaliyah Boston not making the first team is fine if you were limiting it to one Phantom player and you chose Kelsey Plum. If Chelsea Gray wins MVP, this makes the biggest mockery. This means a nickname, and UConn bias means more than anything. And I don't even know if we can call it UConn bias because Stewie got robbed in her own league. Everyone just assumed Stewie was on the first team, by the way. Every single person. If you guys didn't see anything, every single person assumed that Breanna Stewart was on the first team. Everyone did. But clearly, she wasn't on the first team because, the Unrivaled gods decided that a cool nickname and shiny new toy bias, and we need to give Paige every single accolade because unless she gets every single because if she gets every single accolade, people will never be able to say Caitlin Clark is better. Who knows shit? I mean this when I say this. If you want to say Paige will have a better career and you think that Paige is going to figure out the fact that the dog in her is currently a puppy and she'll figure that shit out and when it's all said and done, she'll have a better career, that's a fine argument to make. There is no argument as 23/24-year-old basketball players and Paige Bueckers has had a better basketball career or is currently better than Caitlin Clark. There is no argument. None whatsoever.